There we go.
Okay. Well, then let's get started. Well, welcome everybody. Thanks for coming out tonight. Maybe it's not a bad night to be in the house. It's so hot out there. But anyway, tonight we've got to do a little presentation on our trip down to 4 days in May / Dayton. And then we got a few roundtable questions, I guess we'll call it, to ask everybody for opinions. And then after that, we'll have an update with the DCR and a little chat there. And if time's permitted, we can have a roundtable. So I guess without further ado, let's get started with the Dayton. Assuming everybody can see that.
Yep.
Okay. So our 2024 trip to Dayton, these are the participants there: Cherry, Kingston Dave, Paris Dave, KC2. Who's that? Oh yeah, that's Eric, and Kevin, and then myself made the trip this year. I just took a quick picture of the bridge just so you can see the gap, and then I see in tonight's news feed they're even closer than this one, so it's almost there. Eric might be able to jump that, but I don't think I could.
Peter, your screen has not advanced yet. So.
Oh,
we're looking at your. You must have the wrong window in focus. We're looking at your, PowerPoint organizer.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I've never had that problem before. But then again, this is okay. So, well, let's not mess around. Okay, so is that you can see that?
No, now your desktop disappeared. So,
what the hell?
Yep, you're not sharing anymore. I think you just had the wrong tab focused or whatever. That's all. So
you can click on the PowerPoint and switch screens. That's the most.
Peter, just tell it to share your entire screen. I never go and select tabs or select things. I just tell it, share my entire screen.
So you're not seeing the PowerPoint presentation now?
No. We are just in your organizer. But if you go into slideshow mode, then we'll see your whole screen. So,
what are you seeing now?
Yeah, no, it's still. If you're doing entire screen, that's probably the issue. It never will focus the actual full screen version, right? So,
actually, what's happening is it's going to the other screen. Your projection or the slideshow is running on the other screen. If you have both screens, if you have two screens, probably it's running on the other one.
Yeah,
well, that's if he has two screens. Do you have multiple screens, Peter?
No,
or did you have one?
I'm just sharing one screen. I click on the window. I click on what I normally do.
Yeah, I've never had a problem if I tell it to share my entire screen. It works flawlessly. Because I just have one screen.
All right, let me try that again. Now, this is the first time I've ran with Windows 11, so maybe there's something going on there.
Yeah, like are you using share tab window or entire screen?
Window.
In window, yeah. But it doesn't show you the option for the full one, just the one for PowerPoint? Yeah.
So you want me to say try share screen?
Entire screen, yeah.
All right, I'll try that. All right, do you see that?
It's the same. We are seeing your organizer. Now we see the whole thing. Yep, that's good. If you can work with that, that's perfect.
Yeah, okay. All right, so I won't repeat here, but there's the crew that went down this year.
Yep, there. Now we got the bridge.
Okay. All right, so starting off on the way down, I don't know, Frank, did you ever serve meat tea whenever I came over and visited you? Or I can't remember. But anyway, there's some of Frank's goodies there in the background there. Dave and Eric stopped off on the way down to pick up a couple of projects that we were showing off at club night.
If I can interject here, what I didn't tell anyone till just now, or sorry, Frank, but I put some pharmaceuticals in there just to help lower the price of some of your sales. So just so you know, if you're wondering how, I got away with so much stuff for so little.
That explains it. Okay, so here we are arriving. There's our neighborhood for the next 6 days. Dave and I. And that's the Airbnb we stayed at. Set the bar up right away, get the food out, and then relax. And had a pool table in there. They got a little bit of use, which was that was nice there, and big screen TV there to watch. What show was it that we got addicted to for a little while there? Not Gunsmoke. Rifleman. I forget the name of this place. It's a place just outside of just north of Dayton, and they're going to be they've been around for I think about 60 years, and they're going to be auctioning off and closing down. I think at the end of the summer or August, somewhere around there.
It's in Lima. If you want me to fill in, it's Lima, Ohio, 1 hour north.
Oh yeah,
Fair Radio Sales.
Okay, so Eric, of course, Eric. Who else? And Kingston Dave. They went up, and I was just too tired to go up and join them. Although after I saw the pictures, I kind of wish I'd gone. But anyway, this place is just jammed packed with radios and test gear and just about anything else, I guess. There's Dave coming around the corner there, and the picture on the right. I never treated any of my projects with fungus resistant stuff, but apparently they did in 1944. And another view of this place.
That was the impulse buy when you walked in, like Walmart, the stuff you can't.
Oh yeah, there's impulses all over the place. I see. Mind you, half the stuff I probably could. Anyway, well that's the start. So those two guys started off even before Dayton and 4 Days of May even started. So they got a good start there. I forget exactly what they all bought. They managed to pick up a radio that he has a second one now, and he's going to be working on it, I guess, over the next several months to restore one as it was originally, and then the other one he'll modify it with solid state. So FDIM, this is the schedule of events for this year. The Jack Purdom talked about his Who's That is basically a module out of his T41 that allowed you to enter a call sign and get a beam heading and where did the guy live. And Summers talked about his 10 junk box projects. They were really just projects you could build out of your junk box, and which was a change of pace from his usual fairly technical subjects. Farhan talked about his SBitX. That was an interesting one. And then I can't remember exactly what this one was like now. Adventures of a QRP Evangelist. Then amplifying your adventures, meaningful milliwatt moments. Wayne Burdick from Metalcraft talked about the KH1. That was an interesting little rig. I didn't realize how small that KH1 was, so it was kind of a neat radio. Greg Latta talked about a thermomatic valve, which is strange because usually Americans and Canadians as well call them tubes, but he called it a valve. And the last presentation did not make it. He missed his connection out of Chicago, so we didn't get to hear that. Anyway, later on that night, then we had our vendor set up, and then the vendor night later on at 2000 for the end of the public was invited to that as well, which was interesting. We'll have some pictures of that a little bit. And then Friday, you were over at the Dayton Hamfest, and at 4 o'clock you would come back to the hotel and start those for the buildathon, and then there was our club night set up and everything like that, and then of course the homebrew contest. Now here it says 2 transistor receiver design contest. I'm not aware of that one because we had the active, or not the active, we had the logic chip transmitter contest. So I'm not too sure what this 2 transistor thing is. And then there was on Saturday they had the dinner and whatnot, but we all chose to go to a different restaurant. So here's the crew. Kevin, of course, there, and Bob, if you don't recognize him. Bob is one of our friends that we've met. He's from Georgia. Met up with him down in Hamcation and 4 Days of May, and he's gone to Peel's Field Day several years ago. And of course, Eric, myself, Frank, Dave, and Cherry. It's a nice picture, eh, guys? There we are at the seminars. Down at the far end of the table is another friend of ours we've met at Dayton and the 4 Days of May. That's Sean from Hawaii. And Eric is busy concentrating there. If you look carefully, you might recognize it. It's the online exam for getting your VE license. We at the bar one night, we met a guy from Quebec who was an examiner, and he said he'd be more than happy to give Eric a test. Did that happen, Eric? You don't have to answer. And here we are again, but this time Eric has now switched over to online shopping, which of course is the signage all started, and he made a couple of Amazon purchases that somebody had to go and pick up on the way back to the. Hang on a second. Yes, Kevin. Sorry about that. Okay, that was our meal that night, the first night out after the seminars, and we're all trying to figure out how to use the point of sale machine there. So on vendor night, well, Dave and Bob spent some money and bought the new SBITX from HF Signals, Farhan's company. The middle one is the inside of the T41 transceiver, which is also on the bottom right picture that Jack Purnham is selling. And this is more pictures of vendor night, Hans Summers on the upper left, and various other displays that were going on that particular night. Some interesting displays here for sure. And some really nice looking tube amplifiers here on the upper two pictures. And then the bottom right is a frequency counter. And on the left, it's an Arduino controlled attenuator. That would be an interesting project to do down the road as well. And some more nice handiwork. Not as good as Frank's though. So we're into club night here. And Dave there is showing off his, talking about his self-balancing robot, the beacon, and the solar tracker that he used for his experiments on the Eclipse event. And I'm chatting with the guys about Phoenix and also my prototype boards for the active probe, hoping to get some insights. And between the two is also, you can see actually in the picture in the upper left there, that's one of Frank's rigs that we had on display, and it attracted a fair bit of attention. And so here I am. I guess I was explaining or talking about what I was running into with the active probe stuff, and then somebody said something of interest to me. At least that's what the bottom picture seems to suggest. It's got me thinking. And then here, I guess I didn't like the idea and thought it was a bit funny. But we did attract a fair crowd, and that was always good to talk to different people. And I did get a bit of advice, but I'm not sure it's still going to work. Okay, so here is, I'll play this here. And this is Hassan's project that he put together in the last a few days before we left for the challenge. So this just showing, I guess, the output frequency, the waveform quality, and his kit. And over on the right here, I'll play this now. This is where they did one of the tests.
Is unconventional green for positive here. Okay. Whoops. Let's keep that out of the way. All right. Yeah. What voltage do we have there? Yeah, let's start at some reasonable voltage. Okay. Are we getting any power here? Let's see here. Okay, so I'm like, what are we getting? Okay. Should we crank it? Okay. Well, let's go to like 7 volts. What are we getting now?
Yeah, 30 milliwatts.
30 milliwatts. That's it. Okay. Well, actually, we brought it down for this guy. Okay. We failed the first time, so.
Okay, well, he's got a number.
He's got a number. Yeah, exactly.
Do I crank it up a little more or no?
No, he's already got a timing out. So.
Oh.
Okay, so that was Hassan's entry.
It was disappointing, but I mean, they would have had to. There's no time to tune it to perfection, I guess, because I was getting 2 to 3 watts.
Yeah, I think the main thing that would have helped would have been the an output transformer. I think would have made a world of difference as well. But anyway,
Yes.
you know what? It's a start, and there's always next year.
That's right.
Okay, so on the upper left, I believe this is the winner of the event. He did 1.8 watts, and there you can see his transformer there that he used, and he also incorporated his own filter on it. And I'm not too sure who took this picture or not. I don't know if this here is related to this project or not. Does any of the guys who went down there, do you know?
That was me. I took that picture. We were trying to, nobody could see with their eyes if there were any markings on the IC. We had a suspicion that it was actually doubled, that there was another IC potentially on the other side of it as well. But I'm not, I'm not convinced of that. I mean, there might have been enough depth for a very slim one, but anyway, we were just looking for markings, and that's all.
I'd be hard.
But this is the back of the IC, not the front.
Yeah, I can't believe somebody would cheat on this thing. So this here is the back of this board here.
Yes, correct. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. That's the obverse. That's really the only detail on the other side of that whole PCB.
Yeah. Yeah, because he has a big heat sink on that one. He did talk about it, I think, on one of the QRP Group IO there. I think he had a little bit more of a chat, and I think there is a bit of a write-up on what he did here. Okay, so here's some of the other designs that guys had entered. I don't know what the kind of power they achieved with these ones, but you can kind of see, the little bit of differences in their designs and whatnot. But anyway. All of interest. And there was a few guys, I think in the case, Hassan, you used, I think yours had 6 inverters. These guys were using, some of these guys had 8.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. All right, here's another one that's up at 6. Oh, this is a British guy. And there's another view of one of the projects. Okay, so then Rex here is setting up for the buildathon. He did his buildathon this year was in support of the Logic Chip Transmit contest, and his buildathon was a kit of that. I'm not sure how many kits actually got finished or who started and how many did get entered, but and this was just something he was selling on his table there on the picture on the right. And there's, I'm not sure, this is probably vendor night, I think.
Yeah, I would say vendor night. Yep.
Yeah. And more vendor nights here. And there's Cherry with Wayne from Ellacraft. Schmoozing up there, I guess, Cherry, for a KH1. There's Jack on the left there. He was autographing his big textbook there for his T41 rig. There's our
Cherry stalking celebrities.
Hey?
Cherry is stalking celebrities.
Reminds me of somebody else I know.
Yeah. There they are with the buildathon. How many guys are doing the buildathon? Do you remember?
About a dozen, roughly, something like that. Yeah. So he didn't get too many, and I think probably about half of them got entered into, maybe 4 to 6. So I just remember them being very happy with the fact that they, had so many more entries with the synergism and the buildathon. So that may happen again.
Actually, and Cherry, what was the power output that you got on the one that you built for Dave?
I got 1 watt actually.
1 watt. Oh, so you would have been second place, I think, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
There was a video of that, which I think I
I
did not.
didn't see the video of that one, but just the other. But anyway.
Yeah, it was in the WhatsApp chat. I forgot to move it to Google though. Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you.
okay. So there's the buildathon kit there assembled.
Yeah, Peter, I posted a video too where who's the guy who's moderating the contest?
Dave Kripp.
Yeah, so Dave was I got a video of him talking to Cherry saying it's 1 watt coming out.
I thought I saw it somewhere, but I couldn't find it again. Otherwise, I would have included it here. But oh well. Yeah. And this is vendor night. So on to the ham invention. And I always find there's some weird stuff, I guess you could call it, that you see there or interesting. I guess how you look at things. Somebody's on the right there. Somebody's trying to sell body bags. I thought, okay, unusual. And the guy on the left, you see there was kind of two of these guys wandering around. They dress up like animals. They wear furry hats with ears on them and tails. So anyway, there we go. So
Peter, Kevin has his hand up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Peter, I just wanted to point something out. If you go back to that picture on the right, because the reason I took it was not so much the body bag, but if you look at the sort of the yellow piece of paper on the right that's laying down, it says "Do-It-Yourself Divorce Kit." That's
So that's right. I forgot about that.
Anyway, just
there's always comedians, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they didn't want to put that up front and center, but it was there.
Yeah. There's some, like I say, you see some interesting characters and things in these Hamfests.
Was the body bag part of the divorce kit?
I think that's the whole idea.
Is it Walter White Enterprises, I think, or something like that?
Yeah, I mentioned this little bit of humor to the XYL, but it didn't go over very well. Okay, so these are the talks that were scheduled for the Friday, Saturday over at the Hamvention. A couple of us went to the solar eclipse observations. That's this one right here. No, that's not the one. Sorry, this one here. The results from the eclipse, which was quite interesting. I didn't manage to get into any of the other ones though for some reason. But if you can see down there, they do cover off a wide variety of topics, and Hamsi's got quite a number of them in there. Matter of fact, they might be the most group with the most talks in there. So on the left, the picture there, if you can't read, it says, "Hi, I'm Milliamp. I strip to make ends meet." I thought, okay, again, more characters, and this one's in the boneyard. The picture in the middle wasn't from the boneyard, but we included it here because it was actually at the restaurant we had our last meal before we left on Sunday. And it doesn't focus in too well, but basically it says, "Warning, if you're carrying a firearm," and I can't remember what the rest of the sign said, whether, I don't know, put it behind the bar or what it is, but it just shows you the differences, I guess, between the north and the south of the 49th parallel about firearms. Here there's the sign, "If you're carrying a firearm." Huh.
Computer enhance.
Yeah. And bottom right, guy just puts his stuff out there and then goes off and spends the money before he even earns it. Now, this was pretty neat. The Collins Radio Company, so they have their old equipment in there and also with the old van. If you look in the center of the cab, you can see one of their rigs mounted in the center in the front there.
What building was this in? I don't remember this at all.
It was one of the vendor buildings.
Was it? Yeah. Okay.
I think it was probably the second one, and I can't remember which one that one was. It was probably the second one. I think the one where the ARRL had this booth.
Really?
I think so.
Huh. Okay.
Well, there was nothing. Well, I understand why you missed this one because there's nothing for sale in this booth.
Yeah. They probably would have sold the van for a price.
Anyway, this was kind of neat, but it's a little bit too tiny for me. At least they could have done was put a pad of paper and a pencil there or something. But anyway, it's kind of a neat setup. This one here I took because up here in Kingston, a few of the guys have built the egg beater antennas, and they worked very well, but they all used wire. And this one here, they used some flat stock to make those antennas. But these sat, they call themselves sat nogs. And on the right, there's a picture of their controller. And of course, after the day's festivities, we all rendezvous back at our favorite bar and in the hotel. And the gentleman beside me there is the hand we met from Quebec, who was supposed to give Eric his test for his VE license. Never happened.
Did anyone ever see him after that?
No, he was around. He kept asking for you, and I said, "We kept saying you were studying." And he said, "Oh, good."
I heard he had an accident.
Yeah. Oh.
Couldn't give me the test.
Mm.
So kneecaps got broken or something.
Oh, okay. That's what happened. And then this will be another night there, and like some of the guys, they whatever they bought in the boneyard, they bring along, and we have a little chat about it. This guy here, Jim, he loves buying everybody beer. I don't know if in 2 years, I don't know if I've ever bought him a beer or not. You just can't get he just likes buying beer for you. I shouldn't complain, I guess, but I'm starting to feel guilty.
He was trying to sell me his company, Peter, that night.
Oh, that's why he was buying the beer. That's right.
He pulls me aside and he goes, "Hey, I'm selling my company. You want to buy it? It's just $1 million."
You know how many projects you're going to have to sell? Some more tubes. Would have been interesting. I think they probably wanted a fair buck for that, but it might have been interesting to be able to have one of those tubes sitting on the bench with the filament glowing. The picture on the left, that looks like Farhan to me. I don't know who took the picture, but it certainly looks like that's Farhan shopping in the boneyard.
Yeah, that's Farhan. I took that.
Okay.
Evidence.
Yeah. And there was mud, but not as bad as it was in previous years. I was on the look for a rework station. Now, these aren't rework stations, but kind of illustrates the pricing that was in this particular area. These are solder pots at about $350. A couple of workstations I saw were really, really nice with a really, really bad price, like in the $450 range and stuff like that. So my hand stayed in my pocket.
I took those pictures, I think, for you.
Those one? Okay. Yeah. These are the Japan Amateur Radio League was there, as was Radio Society of Great Britain and RAC. I don't know why I don't have a picture of the ARRL booth, but they were there as well, of course. I'm not sure if there's anybody else there or not, but anyway, these are the guys that were there. For any, Frank and any of the other keyer guys, there was a lot of good displays for keys, as you can see from the bottom right picture there, that big long table where you can try out all the different keys. I have the one on the left there with the ICOM. I think this actually was at the ICOM booth, I think, but I thought that was a neat Bengali keyer there. And the middle picture there, I don't think I've ever seen Heliox that large before, but boy, oh boy, that was thick. And that's a pretty nice radio, those Collins radio there in the bottom pictures there. Wow, nice and clean. So if the sheriff's department own a vehicle like that in the top right, I wonder what the rest of the crew were. I tell you, that was quite the rig they had there. And the car on the left, I'm not sure what that one was all about.
Which one? The upper left?
Yeah.
Cybertruck, Tesla.
Oh, okay.
When I was at the Computer History Museum last November, there was one of those in the parking lot, and I had no idea. I would have taken a closer look at it if had I known. But yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Strange, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I say, that's what we see there. Strange stuff. That's quite the outfit this guy's got in his van there. And of course, there's food. Lineups weren't too bad for food this year. The one thing I didn't find was the beer tent. I didn't see them anywhere, although I'm told there was one somewhere, but wasn't easily found. And the weather wasn't too bad. We had our usual bit of rain, but overall, I don't think we could complain. And there was our last dinner for the night for the trip. So, who's going next year?
Well, I think you know, the place that we had, that was our second year renting a house, was a little less stellar than the first time last year. So,
the first one was fantastic.
I wonder if that had any bearing, because you know, I booked the first year almost a year out from it. This one I booked about 6 months out or so, something like that, 5 or 6 months. So I wonder if that played a role in you know, quality or what have you. But anyway, whatever. I mean, it wasn't bad. It was just not quite as nice. You know, not as nice a neighborhood. You know, the creature comforts weren't quite as nice, but whatever.
We had birds inside the wall, which was great.
The house was okay in a way, but there was the sleeping setups that were not the best. But anyway, it didn't rain inside the house, so that's sense.
Yeah.
Dave,
right? You know, $38 a head a night per person.
Yeah, we're over it. I've caught up my sleep. Dave, comment. You're still muted.
You have to find the mute button. Yeah. Hey, Al, VA3IAW, are you and Ron going next year? You mentioned that Ron kind of missed it and he was thinking about going back. So I don't know if he's going to drag you down as well.
Well, we're communicating about it. We both want to go, but it depends on a few things. But yeah, one last shot at, we think.
Yeah, it'll be really nice if we could get the original gang together, because you and Ron and us, we spent so many times at Dayton, you know, going out because we started going to that Texas Roadhouse, right?
Yeah, the Roadhouse is great.
Yeah, I remember the time we took Eric's son, and he's got a peanut allergy. There were peanuts everywhere.
Yeah, well, Ron's a physician, and yeah.
Hey, you know what?
Okay, Ken, you got a comment?
Yeah, what day did you guys leave to go there? And what day did you leave to come back?
Some of us left Tuesday, and some of us left Wednesday, and to go down, and some came back Saturday, and some came back Sunday,
and some came back Monday.
When does it officially end, though? What day?
Sunday.
Okay.
When Ron and I go, we go on the Wednesday, leaving early in the morning, so that he can spend as much time as possible in the Air and Space Museum, which is really worth it if you haven't been there or haven't spent much time there. I think Ron would spend all his time there if he could.
Yeah, I like going down on a Tuesday. It gives me an extra night to sort of kind of get adapted, rested up, yada yada. But anyway, okay.
I was actually just listening to an episode of Ham Radio Workbench where one of the guys was in Dayton about 5 weeks before. Is that Tom Witherspoon, right? He was one of the speakers at FDIM, right? But he was in Dayton 5 weeks before Hamvention to see the eclipse, and he was mentioned that place. We went to the Wright Brothers museum. That's another nice place if you're going to Dayton and you haven't been. The Wright Brothers, they have a whole complex showing where the Wright Brothers did some of their initial work and their workshops and all that. So it's another worthwhile place that's sort of not really highlighted. So another reason to go down.
Yeah, and the Voice of America too is another place to visit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Any other? Oh, and I guess Eric, maybe we should try to book up a place maybe a little bit earlier this year.
Yeah. Start looking now. I think it's a going concern, even if whatever. That's the difficult thing, is finding a decent place that has 6 separate beds. It's pretty few and far between. But anyway, I will put it on my my agenda. So thanks for that was a good overview, Peter.
Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay, I guess we can we'll move on. The next thing we have on our list for tonight is a bit of roundtable questions. So there's a few of them. So if I go around a little bit and ask you for your comments, I think we'll just try and get through it fairly quickly, and we'll just see how it goes. So first up I have is while we were down at 4 Days in May, Dave was able to talk to some people, and I think we've got 4 guest speakers that are willing to do some presentations to us or for us. And our question here would be, should we schedule them over the summer or in the fall? And also, do we want to hold meetings in July and or August? So I think I'll just go quickly around the table here and just get comments from everybody, and just get a feel what the group thinks. So Joe, what do you think? Schedule in the summer or the fall, hold meetings in July, August, or what do you think? You're muted, Joe. Well, maybe he's not there at the moment. Okay, next on my screen, Kevin.
My thoughts are maybe just have one meeting a month for July and August.
I was thinking about that as well, and I think that's a good option. Yes.
And then maybe but I think the speakers would be best for the fall.
Okay.
Personally, but because people are busy and holidays. Well, maybe not for the retired population here, but because you guys are always on holiday, but for the rest of us.
The wine that you guys work is music to my ears. Okay, all right, thanks, Kevin. Hey, Frank, what do you think? One meeting in July and August, and then go back to the 2 for the fall, winter?
Yeah, I think where are we now? Oh, I see, here we are. Yeah, I'm retired, but I'm so busy that, and particularly in the summertime, that I think we skip the summer meetings, but definitely have your guest speakers in the fall.
Okay. Alrighty. Who's next? Oh, Michael. What do you think?
I would think maybe not have a meeting in July and August because, well, selfish reasons, I'm not going to be here in July at the end of July, so sort of missed that meeting. And maybe it's better not to bother, and because people are busy, as other people are saying.
Okay.
I like the idea of speakers in the fall. Speaking of speakers, in 2014, our club built we built an SDR receiver and called the Ensemble 3, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I have some slides, and maybe I could do a presentation on that if I can remember anything about it, which is a long time ago, but I've got something. Sure. And if we get really desperate, I did go to Texas for the eclipse, and I went to Florida and saw 2 rocket launches, so I could dredge up some pictures if people are interested. I don't know, but anyway, that's a thought.
Okay, if you could just drop me.
If you're really desperate. If you're really desperate.
Okay. Well, if you want to drop me, can you drop me a line, please, with that so I can capture?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah,
sure,
okay.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, thanks, Mike.
And maybe one day I'll have a working automatic switch. Who knows?
And there's another presentation. Perfect. And we need.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, Al, IAW, what do you think? Skip the summer months, go to one meeting during the July, August, or?
I think I should pass because I'm an occasional attendee, so I'll bow to the majority.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Al. Hassan, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I'll be on vacation too, so I guess fewer meetings is better.
I wouldn't word it like that.
What's that?
I wouldn't word it quite like that. Blues in August I can buy, but I'm just being funny here. Okay.
Yeah.
That would be putting the schedule these other guys for in the fall. Okay, thanks, Hassan. Dave, what do you think? OOI?
Yeah, I think Kevin's suggestion. I think, I agree with Hassan. Fewer meetings in the summer is better, but maybe have one meeting a month.
Okay.
Try for one, and certainly the fall for speakers.
Okay, gotcha. Ken?
Seeing that people are busy during the summer, maybe the presentations after Labor Day. And now that Bonnie and I have freedom, no meetings in the summer.
None. Okay. All right. Al Haynes.
I think we have pretty much consensus. I like the idea of presentations in the fall. I wouldn't mind going to one meeting in the summer. I'm wondering whether or not there should be the mixer without a formal presentation, just a round table and a quick check-in. Anyhow,
Okay.
I'm pretty much in consensus to everyone else.
Okay. Yeah, and I agree with that. I like the idea of the one meeting for the July August, kind of keep things going. Who's around, and I like the idea of just a casual meeting, maybe no formal presentation, and then just a roundtable chat of whatever's going on. That's a good idea. All right, thank you, Al. Hey, Drew, what do you think?
Well, I agree that I think one meeting in the summer is all you need. Keep touch, and the roundtable, the mixer sounds like a good idea. Everybody can just sit around and talk about it. Certainly, the presentation should be in the fall, just to give them the appropriate audience.
Yeah, of course. If we go down to one meeting or none meetings, then yeah, obviously now the fall winter season is for the formal presentations for sure. Eric, what do you think?
I like the one mixer per month, July and August. I think that's still a good check-in. See what people are up to. If anyone has any, things they need to get help on or whatever, there's still an opportunity, and it doesn't have to be everybody, right? Whoever is available, and if there's nobody around, then it's a meeting of none. So.
Good. Okay. Thanks, Eric. Yep. Cherry, what do you think?
So one meeting a month in July and August sounds good. That's a good idea. And for the speakers, I'm okay. Before or after in July or August, I'm okay for that. And just one other question I would like to pose for later is, are we going to have a buildathon soon? So just thinking about that.
We'll be talking about that after this.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, no worries. And Bob from Georgia, how you doing tonight, Bob?
Hey, I'm good. Okay, I agree.
Agree what?
Yeah, one meeting in the summer and speakers in the fall, because I'm only here today because I'm generally at the beach in the evenings, and we had thunderstorm warning, so I came home early.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you came in tonight there, Bob.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. Well, it looks like the one meeting wins it. 8-4. So okay, we'll go down to the one meeting. Then I like the idea of just a casual one. We'll push the meetings into the fall winter season. Okay, very good. Okay, which brings me to the next topic here. We need presenters from within our group. So we've organized some other people to do it, but also we really need presenters within our own group. So we are thinking of the of formal presentations, and those would be like the ones, for example, that Dave has given in past, or informal shorts. And by the informal shorts, we mean they're basically 5-10 minutes or whatever you want. Talk about a project that you finished or you're working on, thinking about, or something, maybe even something interesting that you've come across. Now, some of the examples of what I mean by shorts would be like Kevin's series on cool chips. I did a couple on interesting things that I saw, presentations. Some other shorts could be short tutorials like I did on some of the LT Spice stuff that I brought up. Maybe some of the longer ones would be like Michael's presentations on the Tiny SA and Smith chart presentations, and Wayne's KeyCAD series. So, it's really open to whatever is you're up to and what you're doing. So it would be great if we could all do at least one. And so email me with any of the ideas that you may have. And if some of you have trouble with using PowerPoint or OpenOffice's Impress or whatever, I can certainly lend a hand on organizing some slides or whatever it is that you might need. And don't forget, we are a friendly group, so nothing to fear, right? Okay. So another thing that another good thing about going to 4 days in May for a few days in a way like that is it's a good time to sit around and chat and have a good talk about things. And, one of the things we did talk about on this trip was, hosting in-person events. And here we'd be doing things such as, maybe bring your test equipment along, and then we could all sit around and discover how to use it more effectively, maybe the finer points of the instrument that we don't normally use or don't even know about. Things like, bring your scope, SAs, VNAs, SNAs, that kind of thing. Maybe bring a project along, something you're having trouble with, then we can work together on troubleshooting or even complete a project, whatever. But again, these would be the kind of an in-person thing. The other one would be doing some operating. Now, we are a homebrew group, and that's our main focus and stuff. But really, in reality, we all like to operate as well. So there was some talk about operating an event that would take place in a park. And, here you'd bring your antenna, radios, etc., and get on the air. And, of course, since we are basically a province-wide group and in the States as well, if some of us are getting together in a location out in the field somewhere, and maybe we can, others can monitor over the air. So, okay, Ken, you had a comment?
Yeah, sorry, I had to grab the phone, but we're talking about field day?
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
I just got the tail end.
I mean, it could be a field day, but no, we're generally talking about we'd organize some kind of an in-person event type thing. Dave, you had a comment?
Yeah. Hey, Peter, why don't we go back to the first topic where you talked about presentations, and maybe just, ping the group to see if there's anyone who has an interesting short that they could provide, something they're working on, or something interesting they came across. Maybe we could just kind of see who would be able to do a short for us.
Okay. Is there anybody now that has an idea of something they could do for a short that they could talk about? We're not talking about doing something next month or the month after, but, into the fall, winter, even, whatever. Anybody got something that they think they might be able to work on or do?
Yeah, I can do some short presentations for the month of or sometime in fall. Yeah, that's very much possible. Yeah.
Okay, that's great, Ferry. Cherry, if you could maybe email me with an idea that you might have at some point. No rush, but
yeah, sure. It'll be on some construction that I'm doing, like a homebrew or something. Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah.
Ken?
Yeah, I started building a 9-to-1 unknown for a random wire antenna. So I'm taking pictures, and I could put something together.
Okay, that'd be great. And again, if you have these ideas and stuff, I would appreciate if you could email me with them. Then that way I can capture it, and then I can look at you work with you with the scheduling and when you might be able to present it, and I can fill out our schedule. Joe.
Yeah, I was thinking some of the work I've been doing on Meshtastic.
Sure. Yeah, that would be great. Anybody else at the moment got something in their minds that they could talk about? Again, it's not
something for later, Peter.
Pardon me?
Something for later, Peter. You and I talked about looking at something like the a spectrum analyzer and what the buttons do, kind of thing. And we talked about doing that. Yeah. I could do that at some point for the spectrum analyzer and expose my ignorance, and I could also do the same thing for the oscilloscope.
You know,
and for that matter, the I've got a Siglant function generator could do the same thing, I guess.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Enough, something in the fall or winter. Yeah,
that'd be great, Michael. Perfect. And you know, when you made the comment, expose your ignorance, the nice thing about that is, as I mentioned before, we're such a friendly group that when you do things like that, you don't get attacked. We all learn. If nobody made mistakes and didn't know something, we wouldn't learn. Okay, that's great. Thank you, Michael. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Anything?
Yeah, Peter, I was thinking of I wanted to use 2 SDRs and just transmit across the room purely with software. So use one of my SDRs as TX, one is RX, pick a frequency, maybe 900 megahertz or whatever, just whatever's convenient to stick onto a short antenna, and see what I can get.
That'd be perfect. That'd be great. Okay, thank you, Hassan.
I'd like to second the motion on Meshtastic. That to me is a interesting topic. So I vote for that.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else willing to chat now?
Oh, I have something else.
Okay, that's good.
So remember that I told you about that radio that these guys were building in England, and they wanted people, volunteers, to kind of test it out. So we were just kind of blue skying, and one of the guys mentioned he really loves Marconi. So I was like, and their radios have like a few hundred kilometers range. So I was thinking, this is really out there, replicate Marconi's experiment, transmitting across the Atlantic, but with these tiny mesh radios, and just put them up in balloons, like 20 of them across the Atlantic, and transmit across.
Okay. I'm looking forward to that presentation.
What do you guys think? I don't know. We have the rocket expertise here. But Dave, what do you think about is it possible? Send it up in a balloon and just,
The only thing is, if it goes south, then probably it's not going to be.
I like your thought process. Launch 20 balloons across the Atlantic and have a mesh. Okay, very good.
I mean,
the problem is the cost. The sun is the cost, because chances are that balloon is gone. You're never going to get it back. So anything you put in there, you have to kiss it goodbye.
Yeah,
that might be acceptable because go ahead.
He's rich.
Not me, but somebody else would be.
And don't we need clearance? You need clearance, right? Some
depends how heavy it is. Depends how heavy it is. How big?
Yeah, it is a flight path, so okay. Well, we'll talk about it later.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay. Well, that was a good turnout. So as I said, please email me with your ideas and stuff so I can capture it, and we'll go from there. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for the suggestion there, Dave. Okay. Let's see. Where were we? Oh yeah. Okay. So I guess another part of that question I talked about, having our in-person and events is like I mentioned briefly, that a good chunk of our memberships live outside the what was the traditional Peel Toronto area, and it might be difficult to host a in-person together. So one idea would be, and we'll do a little roundtable on this one to get you guys' opinions. Would you be willing to travel for a one-day event, for example, like what we've done in past, Eric's Farm, or Dave has volunteered to maybe hold an event at his place or a park or maybe some other location? Another part of this would be, would you travel and spend multiple days? An example would be Friday, Saturday, or a Saturday, Sunday, or even a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday kind of thing. And we've done that in past where we went up to Eric's cottage and held a 4-day event there. And I think some guys stayed for the full event and some guys stayed just for a couple of days. So sort of like a mini 4 days in May, really. And or set up a camp in a park or that kind of thing. So let me just do a little bit of a quick roundtable and get a feeling from everybody, and we'll go.
Come on.
we go. Yeah, so we were talking about this earlier, and I'm happy to host another event. We had one in 2022, I think it was. I don't know,
Probably.
something like that. Or maybe it was spring of 2023. But anyway, so the next, I guess, time when it's going to be reasonably free and open and still in decent-ish weather, because that stretches into, well, and late into the fall these days, would be the weekend of November 8th, 9th, and 10th. So if you guys maybe want to just pencil that into your calendar, starting to think about doing another event, probably as early as the Thursday, the 7th. So Thursday to Sunday, or as many or as few nights as you'd want to stay over. The place holds 8, so lots of room. There's bunk beds and whatever else. If you want to pitch a tent in the backyard in November, you can do that too. But those of you that were there previously know that it's a nice venue, and it's almost like being, I guess, camping, right? You got a lake there that you can set up your antennas in the trees, lots of tall trees to throw things, lines up in the sky and what have you. So anyway, so just tentatively, we can have that as an outing potential. So so it's November 7th to 10th this year.
That's perfect. Thank you for that update there, Eric. And yeah, we had a blast the last time we were up there. We had a couple of spectrum analyzers, probably about 4 scopes and SIGGENs and all kinds of things. It was a lot of fun. So
we can make it a theme as well, right? Come up with a consensus for a test equipment. Learn your test equipment, bring it and learn it. So
okay. So let me do a little round table here and just see what everybody's thoughts are on this one. Joe, you're at the top of the screen. What do you think?
I like the idea. In my personal case, since I'm still a working stiff, it probably wouldn't be like, for example, in this case of 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, I would be probably joining you guys like in a Friday evening kind of thing. But even if I'm the last one to show up, I mean, I have no problem pitching a tent, and I've got all the equipment to do that kind of thing. But I like the idea.
Yep. Okay, perfect. And actually, you reminded me of the working guys. Also, as we go around the roundtable too, if you're able to host a one-day event of something or a multi-day event, let us know, whether it be at your own work location or maybe you got a work location or home location. Anyway, just food for thought. Okay, Kevin, what do you think?
Yeah, I would probably be interested in that. I don't know if I'd go for all the days, but then again, maybe, why not?
Sure. Okay, yeah, that's what it's all about.
And November's fine. I mean, it's like,
Eric has firewood.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's up north there, so it might be kind of lousy, but then again, it might be okay. So
less chance of rain. Okay, thanks for that, Kevin. Frank, what are your travels like these days?
There we go. Well, unfortunately, in my situation, I don't think I could make an overnight type of thing, even one night. But if it's close enough, I wouldn't mind driving up for a few hours and then driving back the same day. So
okay. Well, again, it all suits in. I mean, Eric's Cottage is one option, and then there's, like you say, Eric's Farm. There's Dave's Place, all those kinds of things. So there's some multitude of options that we're talking about here. Dave, you got a comment?
Yep, Frank. I was just going to suggest maybe in that situation, maybe if we were to do a camp somewhere in your neighborhood and make it easier for you to attend, and we did some kind of operating or something. I don't know. I'm just throwing out ideas, but maybe Peter, we could, target to do something in Frank's backyard over a weekend, not literally in his backyard.
No, but it's like this thing we talked about before when we do something that's on the air, those of us that can't make it to a particular location might be able to participate from their own QTH, right? Because we're talking about doing on-air stuff as well, right? Okay.
That's a good idea.
Michael, over to you. You're up next.
Yeah. Blue skying here. An option for if you wanted to do something for a day, maybe you could go to a provincial park and do the day use permit thing. Day use permits are $6.50 per car. So maybe if you could find a place that had picnic shelters or something to keep out of the rain if necessary, you could do that kind of thing and do something, get people together that way. Sorry, what?
I know. I'm thinking about the same thing here. Like we have a spot here where it's got a great big, huge, daytime use park with a big picnic shelter and all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, there's conservation areas around too. Yeah, there's one in Conestoga, for example. It's over near Kitchener and those kind of places, not too far away. I guess we could, if the group was small enough, you could always use the club station facilities, which we can talk about. We're going to talk about later. That's a possibility too.
Yeah, okay, that's great.
I don't know. Some ideas.
Yep. Thanks. Okay.
And for that matter, you could also, one other thing, if you chose to, Margot's Church, they charge, I think it's $50 for a day or something. So a bunch of guys get together, we could split the cost and do that. I don't know. Just a thought.
So there's another option. Okay. It's good to know. Okay. Joe, yeah. You're muted, Joe. You got your hand up there, Joe. You're muted.
Sorry, do you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, on the question of conservation areas, I'll be doing some camping this summer, so I can check on Valens, which is south of Guelph, west of Cambridge, and also I'll be at Laurel Creek, which is northwest Waterloo. So I can find out costing, because I know they've got pavilions where it's like 6 or 7 picnic tables under one large roof kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for that, Joe. Okay. Well, carrying on here, we've got a few more things to go through here, so we're running a little bit tight here. Al, IAW.
I'll pass again. I'm relatively inactive, but you never know.
Okay, Al. Hassan.
What was the question?
You interested in going on 1 day, 2 day, 3 day events?
Yes.
Traveling events?
Absolutely.
Okay. Perfect.
Well, what I'd love to do is go somewhere near a nice lake and set up a vertical and use the lake as the ground plane. And I've always wanted to try that out because the propagation near water.
So I'm going to mark down November 7, 8, 9, and 10 at Eric's Cottage because he's right on Sparrow Lake.
Yeah, we could. We don't have to do it in November. I mean, we could.
Well, yeah, we do because that's the only date that he's got.
Oh, well, I was thinking we could just go to like Hamilton, the Cook's Paradise. It's right at the edge of Lake Ontario, and I mean it's funnel shaped.
Now let's pick the furthest point in Ontario for me, right?
Okay, Sandbanks.
I'm at the other end of the lake, and you pick Hamilton Harbor. Okay. Anyway.
Okay. Sandbanks then.
All right. Thanks. Yeah. Let's meet in Picton, Sandbanks Park. That's a good idea. Except it's a nightmare to get to. Okay. Thanks.
But there's a nice transmitter complex not far from there, isn't there?
That's true. Very true. I don't think it's in use though.
Well, it could be if we break in.
Yeah. Dave, comment? Actually, I know your comments, but
yeah, I think I'm in for overnight weekend type things, and I guess it depends when it is. Because if we're doing overnight things, it's either going to have to be in a park camping, or maybe at Eric's cottage,
Yeah.
or it's got to be somewhere, and also to cost. We have to factor into this cost because we don't want to, and I think someone's suggested, there are places where we could, or I think Michael mentioned about the church that we can rent.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is we want to avoid taking money from people, I guess, because right now you're free to join, to come and meet. There's no fees, so we have to be careful with costs. But yeah, I'm in for overnight things for small groups, like 4 or 5 people. Welcome to come over to my house. My basement's not furnished, but it's finished. It's quite warm, so we can set up tables and do some things there. But I like, Peter, the suggestion about maybe a first overnight or full day event is test equipment. Bring out your test equipment, bring out your scope, your SA, your signal generator, anything you have, bring it out, and let's figure it out together how to use it. We'll put it to use, and we'll get you to sharpen up your usage of it.
Okay, that's great. Okay, thank you for that. Ken, you're up next.
Yeah, I'm interested in some day or 2-day or 3-day events. I guess when it is, and if I'm available then. Like I said, we've got our freedom now, so we can do what we want. The other thing I want to bring up too is field day. We've been holding it at Eric's place for the last 3 years or something like that, and like you don't have to go there and operate. We can do, you can bring equipment, you can bring projects you're working on. You want to try out an antenna, and I find it a lot of fun.
Okay, it's a relaxed environment.
Yeah,
yes, very much.
A lot of fun doing that at Eric's. Maybe Eric, I think you were going to do a posting or something about it, so we'll wait for that to come on the group's IO and just see.
Yeah, because it's coming up soon, right? 2 weeks Saturday. So,
okay. Actually, we're starting to run out of time, and I really want to get to talk about the DCR stuff too. So let's either go quick. I'll tell you what, we've got about 4 or 5 guys left. Does anybody else got a comment? Maybe just raise your hand, and then I'll go to you that way. Otherwise, it looks like the consensus is the majority of us, anyways, are going to go out to some organized in-person event of some description. So that looks good. Yeah, Ken.
Why don't instead of talking about the DCR, why don't we just do a posting? Because we're running out of time here.
Yeah.
Or we can do it the next meeting.
All right, so we'll do the DCR update next meeting then. Well, okay. Yeah, why not? All right, so we'll do all the DCR stuff the next meeting. Okay.
Maybe I can put a short posting together and just put it up.
All right, so let's talk about that later, and then we'll schedule something in for July for that one meeting, and then we'll do a posting as well, because there may not be the full lot of us out at that meeting, based on just what our conversation was 15 minutes ago. Hassan, you got a comment?
Yeah. What about visiting museums? I went to the Deacon Bunker. It was kind of neat. And if we go, there's a museum in Kingston, isn't there? Like a radio museum.
Yeah.
There is.
Yeah.
So that could be fun too.
Yeah.
Well, you can do that when you come down to do the to do our swap meet here in September.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah.
Put a plug in for that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just come down the day before. You can go over on Friday, and then you can go to the swap meet Saturday morning with breakfast.
Okay.
Get in early.
All right. Well, let's just carry on here quickly. See, Al, you interested in doing some in-person events, going up to Eric's cottage or to a park, an overnight or day trips?
Yeah, travel's not an issue. Certainly day trips, multiple days are a little bit hard for me right now. But it depends when and where and if I'm available. But distance not a problem, and certainly any day trip's not a problem.
Okay, that's great. Thanks, Al. And Drew, how about you?
Well, I'm kind of landlocked here. I don't think I'd be doing any distance trips up to Orangeville. Bit of a hike. I find my driving days are no longer like they used to be. So
Okay. Well, then
but,
might be part of that crew that participates when it's the on-air event from your shack.
well, yeah, I was actually looking forward to that. I think that'd be great fun to kind of have a SOAREX field day, just outside of field day, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Now I guess unless he doesn't want to really say something, but Eric, we know what he's all about. He's in for this sort of stuff since half of it's his place. Cherry. Yeah, I know you you don't mind traveling around to these events. You're good for that, right?
Yeah, I'm good for this as long as we don't have a ham fest on that day, right?
Okay, enough said there. And
Are you
Bob,
related to Eric?
Hey, Bob, you going to drive all the way up from Atlanta to join in?
Can I unmute?
Yeah, you're unmuted now.
I'm unmuted?
Yep.
Oh, okay. You never know. But if you guys ever, if it gets cold up there and you want to get some warm weather, you all are welcome to come to Atlanta. I just counted. I think I can sleep 7, and I've got a big lot, and I can put tents in the back. And the zoning people, I don't think will annoy me. You'd have to pitch your tent in between my antennas.
Okay. Well, there's a good option. I hadn't thought of that one. Okay. Well, thanks for that, Bob. That's great news.
Okay.
We're leaving now. Okay. 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 Well, thanks everybody for that one. Okay. So we'll do the DCR the next one, because we want to do that justice.
And I could transport people to Georgia for $20 a head.
Here we go. Here we go. So, okay, so the last topic on my list here, just to go over here, is like going forward. We had a discussion about should we continue to work on SOAREX kits and projects. For example, these could be like our buildathon stuff, or maybe we might even come up with something where it's a group build, but maybe you're building from your own shacks. But anyway, I guess is there a desire for us to carry on doing what we'll call SOAREX projects and kits like in the buildathons? I mean, just for the sake of time there, maybe if you just raise your hands if you're all in favor to carry on with that sort of thing might be the best way to approach this one instead of asking everybody individually. Oh, I love these blips. Okay. It looks like there's a consensus there. Okay. That sounds good.
And Peter, you may want to clarify if it's, like just we all get the kit, we build it on our own, or are we going to do a build-a-thon?
Well, that's why I said, I brought up both. There could be both things. I guess really what we're saying is that I'm sure there's a desire for the build-a-thon, of course, as long as we can get a place. And I know we're running out a little bit of time, and Michael's going to talk to that. So we should probably let me quickly go through this. Michael, I've been talking about this. The Mississauga Club has and there's room in there for some people. I'm not sure it'll fit 10, but certainly maybe 8 to 10 it might. So we'll go over to Michael on that one in a minute. One thing that we have been talking about going forward is Dave and I've been talking about building our version of Charlie Morris's SDR radio based on the Tinsy or the Raspberry Pi. And we're talking about maybe put a few watts output broadbanded. Anyway, maybe I guess if everybody with their hands up now, put them down. And I guess the question is there an interest in with the group on us doing a project, something like that? Doing SDR stuff. And this would be both SDR for transmit and the receive side of things. So, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so it looks like there's some interest there. And again, okay, so if you can put your hands down for my next little question. This one would be, now, one of the things I find that's really good about these kinds of projects is getting on board with helping with the design, implementation. It's such a great learning opportunity. I mean, there'll be lots of opportunity to join, but is there anybody here now that would say I might be interested in joining the group for the designing of such a project, or being involved in prototyping, all those kinds of things? Okay, good. Excellent. Frank, yeah, that's good. I'm good to see that. Okay, thanks very much, guys. It looks like we've got a good thing going here. Michael, did you want to talk a little bit about because we're talking about buildathons here, and one of the spots we thought of was, like I said, the Mississauga Club Station Room. Michael, did you want to? You prepared to go ahead and talk a little bit about that?
Yes, I do. Let me figure out how to share. Okay. Entire screen, I guess. Okay. That's not going to work. Just a minute. Can you guys see this? Can you see the earth end? Can you see the pictures?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't think you've shared yet, Michael.
I guess maybe I didn't. Hang on a minute. Yeah, I guess I didn't. Hold on a second. Gotta figure out how to do that. Share. Start sharing. Okay. Oh. Okay, now let me see. Can you see the picture? Can you see the picture?
Nope.
Not yet. Nope.
I had this worked out before.
Yeah. It hasn't even tried yet by the looks of it.
Hasn't even what?
It hasn't even tried, like nothing, no sharing at all yet. So.
Okay, let me try again. Start screen sharing. Window.
And then you have to select. You have to click on what, like it's a tab or entire screen. You have to actually physically click on it, then say share. There you go.
Okay. Can you see that picture?
I see. Yes. Yeah.
That's our club station. Just for what it's worth, that's the club station. Okay, and we got. I just thought I'd show that for whatever it's worth. The MAS club station. Okay. This is the room that we've done small buildathons before. It's very cluttered right now because there's all kinds of stuff for flea markets and whatnot. That's from one end. This is from the other end. In the back corner, here's the actual station itself. So all this stuff this is all going to go to flea market. Apparently, this stuff's all going to go to flea markets and whatnot. But we did this SDR project. This is the 2014 project I was talking about, and you can see how we had it set up with a table across the back, two tables, one looks like together, and one on the end. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we had 6 people here. Conceivably, you could put another table in the radio room, perhaps. You might be able to extend this a bit further with another table. These, I think, are 6-foot tables. We don't have a lot of them right now, but I think I could probably borrow some from Margot's church, maybe. So that's one picture. Here's another picture. Same. This is the ensemble thing, the build-a-thon thing. We bought the kits from whoever, and we built them, and you can sort of get an idea of the space that's available. So that's a possibility. And
hey, there's a little pup there, Michael. There's a little pup right in the center of the table. See it right in the center? In the center, there's a little pup.
Oh, a little pup.
Where?
Oh,
here?
Yeah.
Really? I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, there the meters. The voltometers.
Well, you got a good
I
eyeball.
can't see it.
I don't see
make
it.
it bigger. Is that bigger?
Can you guys?
Oh,
yeah, little pup.
Right. Yeah.
Where?
Beside the magnifying glass.
Yeah. And beside the 2 meters.
Yeah.
In there, in the bag. In the bag.
Beside the magnifying glass. Look at the magnifying glass at the bottom. The tin.
Oh yeah, down this thing. Yes, I guess that's right.
Where?
Okay.
There. The cursor.
Right here.
Where's your cursor with it? Oh, there.
Bottom middle.
Look at that.
Yeah, anyway. Anyhow, this is what I could suggest. It's okay with the club station guys, no problem. We would just have to schedule it maybe around, I don't know, around contests or not. I don't know, but we'd have to find a way to get the tables in. And I think this one's there's a table across the back here and 2 tables looks like this way. And there's one here. So I don't know, 5 or 6 people maybe.
Looks like you might be able to fit 8 there.
Maybe, yeah, we could cram people in. That's right. Like I say, in the operating room itself, through the door here, there's the desks across the back, but there'd be a place you could put a table in there. I think if you wanted to work at it, so possibility anyway.
Well, that's great,
and
Michael.
It's available if we. Big pardon?
No, that's great, Michael. Thank you for that information.
What's the major intersection this is near, Michael?
A big pardon?
What's the major?
Where is it?
Major intersection.
It's Derry. It's Derry. It's on Anson Drive. It's on Derry, immediately north of the airport. You know where the airport is, obviously.
Yeah.
Derry runs across north side of the airport. It's right there.
So northeast Mississauga, basically. Yeah.
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 North. Yeah. Yeah,
like
I guess so.
Alton, really.
Let's see. Airport Road is not far away. That's right.
Okay. Yeah.
That's where it is. Yeah.
Nice.
So that's a good location as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much, Michael. That's really appreciated.
Okay. So that's a possibility.
All right.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
All right. So we'll.
The other thing we could do if you're going to rent a room, if you're going to rent a room for the let's say the DCR project, if you're going to do a buildathon and you wanted to take advantage of the church facility, they have a room that quite a big room with a lot of tables.
Okay.
And you could, if it was $50 and there are 10 people, that'd be $5 extra for the kit.
Yeah.
That's how you think about it.
Like our July meeting, we'll talk about the DCR.
Okay.
And then we'll go from there.
It's a nice location. That's the nice thing about it, eh? Nice and central, and like you guys from Kingston could fly in.
No, we've been. Yeah.
Yeah, Peter, get a deal on the Air Canada flight up to Orangeville.
Yeah, right. I was thinking what we'll do is rent a small plane and we'll get Howard to fly us there. I think Howard still has his current license current.
Well, if we pay for gas, maybe he'll give us a ride.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. How many can you? Well, you can fit 4 in a Cessna, right?
Not a 150.
Okay, Hassan, you got a question, or you forgot to lower your hand?
Forgot to lower my hand.
Okay. I see Charlie joined us tonight. Hi, Charlie. How are you?
Doing okay. Just running a little late. Got some company, and they've gone out for a wander, so I thought I'd sign in and see what's happening here.
Oh, okay. Very good. Okay. Well, that's all I've got for tonight. We're at 9 o'clock now, so I think it was a good call to postpone the DCR conversation till July. So it looks like the consensus is to go to 1 meeting per month for the month of July and August. And I think we made a consensus there that we will do it on the mixer night. So I think that's a good idea. So I know we said we wouldn't worry about formal presentations for July, August, but again, we'll talk about it's not a presentation, but we'll talk about the DCR in the July mixer. Ken, you got a comment?
Yeah, we can do the DCR thing on the 19th of this month, 2 weeks.
Oh, what day is it today?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Retired guy, it's the 5th.
I was going to say, no, none of you guys take a cheap shot at retirees. Okay, yeah, you're right. We don't have to. You're right. I apologize. We'll do it. We'll do it this month. Yeah. Okay.
You gotta drop the whiskey at night, Peter.
I don't have it before 9 o'clock. Only when I get together with you guys that I started at 7 o'clock. Okay. Is anybody else? Okay. Has anybody else got any other comments or questions, inquiries, etc., blah, 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 before we go? Okay, good. Well, thanks everybody for attending tonight. We got a lot of good feedback and whatnot.
Sorry, Dave had something.
Oh, Dave? Did he?
No, I just said good meeting.
Yeah. So we covered a lot of topics. We got a bit of a direction which way we want to go, which is great. And I guess we'll see. Hopefully, see everybody on the 19th.
And maybe on the 19th, we can actually set a date for the DCR Buildathon. What do you think about that?
Well, see how we'll see how it goes. If we get a lot of feedback and there's a lot of guys that want, and then we can start setting some up. Sure.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know if there's anything scheduled, if there is a presentation scheduled for that month or not, off the top of my head. Michael, you got a comment?
Are we talking June 19th or what?
Yes.
Okay. I'll be here for June 19th. Okay. That's good. Okay.
I'm assuming it's the 19th because that's what Ken said, and Ken's never wrong. So anything else, guys? Okay. Well, good night, and thanks for joining in. We'll catch up with everybody later. 7-3.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
7-3.
Appreciate it.
Okay. All right.
So, Eric, are we going to do this field day?
I think so. Let me just